This question is Matchsticks to square. So yeah, you give an integer array, and then you want to basically form a square at the end. So and then the stick you have, which is going to be integer array, are not going to be represent the same. So yeah, look at this. So this question is actually pretty similar to the previous video, and yeah, let me just start over again. The introduction is pretty straightforward. So every single length, so this will be length 1, length 2, length 3, and this will be length 4. So write as an equation, 3 plus length 4. This will be the sum of total, right? Sum of total, right? So I can assume the for L doesn't matter is L1, L2, L3, or L4, right? They are equal to the sum, right? So what can this be? This can be L1 is equal to sum over sum divided by 4, right? Or L2 or L3 or L4, right? So the remainder is actually 0, right? So we can say sum multiplied by 4. If this is not, so if sum multiplied by 4 is not equal to 0, I can return false. So this will be returned false immediately, right? Alright, so again, the integer array, like the matchsticks, is not going to be it's not going to sort by order, right? So you probably can receive 2 2 2 1 1 1, right? But when we want to traverse, we want to make sure it's going to be sorted, so we will be able to know which index are we going to use. And then if we use it, then we want to skip. We want to skip this index. So we have a boolean to visit, so boolean array to visit, and we want to make sure how many the k represent 4 in this case, right? So if k is actually equal to 0, then we know everything other are the same, right? So k will be equal to 0. And then if imagine that 2 has been used, and then we already know this is false, like we want to revert the use from false to true, right? And then we want to make sure this index, the repeated value index, does not traverse again, because it will return false. So yeah, that's pretty much the solution. Alright, I'm going to start coding, and I'll definitely explain all the way through it, right? So I have a sum. I will say array.string the matchsticks, and I will traverse all of the array and then make a sum. And then if the sum does not equal to 4, sorry, it's not. If the sum multiplied by k does not equal to 0, I want to return false. So what does k equal to 4, right? So something like this, right? Array.sort. I want to sort the match sticks, and then I want to have a boolean array, new boolean, and then it's going to be the length of the matchstick, and I want to return DFS. So yeah, I will definitely pass in the array. I want to know what's my current index. I want to know what's the current sum. I want to know how many k we have, so it's going to be 4. I want to know the current target, the target sum, so it's going to be sum divided by 4. I want to know if the value has been visited. So again, DFS, so integer match stick it, and in index, int what is this? The sum, the current sum. I want to say int k, int target sum. I want to know the boolean visit array. Alright, so this will be it, right? So if k is equal to 0, we know that by default is 4, right? By default is 4, and then we want to make sure everything has been used. So it can be 0 or it can be 1. So again, why do we assume k equal to 0 can be is going to be true and k equal to 1 can be true? This is because we already verified the sum mod by 4 does not equal to 0, right? So it has to be a a multiplication of 4, right? Definitely a multiplication of 4. And then what we need to do is what we want to make sure is let me do this. So L1 plus L2 plus L3 plus L4 is equal to sum, right? And then we already verified this. L1 plus all the way to L4 are going to be the 4 times x, imagine x, right? And what does 4x represent? 3x plus x, right? And if we already know that 3x has been successfully, then we don't need to traverse the last x, which is going to save a lot of time, right? So again, I will say equal to 0 first, and I will update this later. So I will say return true. Alright, so if the current sum is equal to the target sum, right? I want to reduce the k, right? Like reduce the length. So return bfx, and then it's going to be matched. It's a clear list, but let me think about it. So index. So index, I will start it from 0 again, because some of the index might not be used immediately, right? I probably will save for another index, and then current sum, I will update the current sum to actually equal to 0. So I will start over again to calculate the current length. I want to make sure the k will be decremented by 1, because this is one of the L, right? And then the target sum is going to be target. We don't need to calculate the sum again. The visit, we don't want to modify the visit, so we pass in whatever we have. Alright, so we traverse. So traverse based on the index, and then I'm gonna say to last value, right? So it's gonna be Matchsticks.name at plus. So why do we need to pass the index? This is because at this point it was starting from 0, and then if a value that we don't want, we will skip. So some has been used, some has not been used. So we want to make sure everything will starting over again, and then we want to make sure this is going to be a one way of traversal for the 1L, right? Right. So again, so if a value has been used, I want to say continue, and I want to make sure I want to break out the non-necessary traversal. So if num_i plus the current sum is greater than the target sum, I want to say, oh man, this is going to be return false. I don't want to waste of time, right? So now everything will be the now everything will be adding to the current sum, right? So which is going to be used the visit, and then one way is if the current index let needs to backtrack, we need to reset to false, right? But before we reset, we need to make sure if we use it, right? If we use the current index, then we want to move on to the next index, and then we want to current sum will be the current sum plus num_i. The k doesn't change because it will change when you have current sum equal to target sum, right? And then the target sum and then the visit is not going to change. So if this is true, I don't need to backtrack. I can return true right here. Alright, so this is almost finished. However, there's one thing that we need to care about is if the value has been repeatedly used, and then we already know the first value that we use, we traverse, and then we backtrack this, then it's going to be, it's not possible to generate a subset in the length. I'm going to skip for the rest of the, the same value, right? So definitely, I will greater than index, and also num_i is, okay, it's not num, it's match. Sticks that I is equal to match. Sticks that I minus 1. And also, since we are recursively, backtrack this guy, so it's going to be what? the previous value for the visit is false, right? And this will be the solution. Oh, my bad. Where's none? Alright, my bad. Submit. Cool. So this will be it. Alright, let's try the bar one. Cool. So this will be the solution. Alright, let's talk about time and space. This is space, this is also the space, and that's it. So it's going to be all of them. So this will be the sorted, it's going to be time, this will be time, this will be a time, this will be a time, this will be a time. So this will be n of n, this will be all of n, and this is one way, this is the other way, so you have two ways of doing this. And then your recursor is called this, and then you're back to here. So it's going to be the same as previous video. So it's going to be n times 2 to the n, right? And this n are the same. So n will be length of matchsticks. So this will be time. Space is going to be all of n. And yeah. So if you have a question, leave a comment, and I will see you next time. Bye.